InvestKL, the organisation tasked with bringing MNCs to our shores, achieved a milestone this year after it managed to bring in its goal of 100 companies. However, 2020 has not been a normal year and as such requires some major soul-searching. We sit down and talk to CEO Muhammad Azmi Zulkifli about challenges, strategies and how InvestKL intends to get to the next 100. Congratulations on bringing that 100 companies. When we last spoke a year ago, that was the goal that you said you set yourself at InvestKL for 2020. In fact, you said by the end of this year, it's going to be more than 100. But of course, what makes it different is that this year has been very, very different. It's been very, very challenging. I need to ask, how did you still manage to attract more companies in what is literally a global crisis?
Clearly, when 2020 started, nobody can figure out where would we be here today.
Correct.
It's clearly unprecedented.
Yeah.
And this is where we have seen that a lot of these activities, especially on the investments for high value, high tech and high impact in the services sector, is a momentum carried forward from 2019.
Okay.
In 2019, just to take a little bit step back to before the COVID-19, the issue on the table was the US-China trade tension. Companies in the Q3 and Q4 of 2019 were planning or was re-engineering what do they do next.
Correct.
And we are happy that many of them continued to execute their plans as a way forward. And this is where we have seen that the momentum has carried and that has allowed us to achieve the 100 target. For the record, for this year, our KPI is for 12 MNCs. By reaching 100, we have only reached our yearly KPI up to 9 at the moment. So we are looking forward to the next 3. It looks promising, it looks optimistic.
Okay.
And we are looking towards the next 2 months to finalize the activities and the plans. So it's a good combination of a carry forward from 2019, the optimism, and wanting to adapt quickly to what COVID-19 have brought us in. Engaging, working with companies and looking at how we can better facilitate all these activities.
Attracting them is one thing. Keeping them is another. You know, you have to make sure that they still want to stay here. With all these uncertainties, what are the strengths of Malaysia that you are pipping to them as an investment hub compared to sort of our neighbours?
Consciously, when we were looking at our business plan back in March and trying to adapt to the current situation, we were looking at how we wanted to do a call to power, or in that sense also a call to action. When I say a call to action, is about we were looking at how we can focus our activities into protect, retain, attract. Protect is about protecting the current investments here today, making sure that they can continue to operate, that they can prosper from the country to the region. Secondly is to retain them. Yeah? Clearly, under current circumstances, all countries would be wanting to go out and get these best companies to their country. And this is where focusing on the retain activities is where we can also support the government with regards to retaining employment. And this is key and important during the pandemic situation. We feel that with protect and retain, we can clearly display this as a case study to attract new investments.
This new normal, the uncertainty surrounding the economy, whether we get vaccines or change or everything, I think things are going to change. Certain things are permanent for sure. What is the strategy then for 2021 for InvestKL? I mean, what are the tools you're pulling out of your bag to sort of meet your next 100?
At the moment, we are using the next 100 as a symbolic number as we focus on the investments as a way forward. From the middle of this year, we were focusing on our InvestKL strategic plan, 10-year plan, 2021 up to 2030. Most importantly is looking at what we are doing today and how relevant it is for the future. Secondly, what are additional elements that we can add to this activity? Some of the new elements would be looking at what the government aspires to be. Yeah? And this is where we were focusing on the agenda of the National Investment Aspirations. The National Investment Aspirations, as worked by Bank Negara and World Bank together, is looking at how can we have a larger footprint for every investment. Simply put it, when we have an investment, what sort of spillover effect is it to the economy? What kind of integration forward as well as backward to the economy with regards to the small medium businesses? How can we continue and make sure that talent is available and able to support these activities? And the other part of it also is about the inclusivity of the plan. It has to not just be within a particular city center and area.
Yes.
It must be a spillover across the nation. And two areas that we are excited about: green activity and green technology, as well as sustainable investments. Why we are excited about these two is because in the past 2 years, we are getting more questions and queries about green technology and sustainable investment. This is simply because companies from all over the world, they are moving up to a higher standard. And in that higher standard, when they are in a listed stock exchange and so on, these are some of the variables that are being monitored by the stock exchange. The reporting of green, the reporting of responsible financing and so on.
Because you were talking about hitting the ground running for 2021 as part of your 10-year plan, what is the first thing on that agenda to hit the ground running?
Touching a little bit on the upcoming budget 2021, we have quite a long wish list in there, but I'd like to also mention an activity that we want to focus on, which is called the KL Life Lab. KL Life Lab simply means moving beyond the traditional regional headquarters or centers of excellence to look at how companies can go into a particular lab environment and be creating or doing innovation that would really suit the region, Malaysia and the region.